So last night I was Skyping with Pandora the Eclectic, and as usual, she didn't show me her titties. Even though, as a man, I am fully entitled to those titties. And she really needs to get with the fucking program on that. But I'm not gonna get sidetracked on that. She got me talking about a sort of thing that I don't like to do videos on, for a number of reasons, and I wasn't going to do a video, but I went to the Yes All Women hashtag, find some more comedy in that comedy goldmine. And there was a thing about Yes All Women and Ferguson. I think it's Missouri. It's one of those states where people have bad grammar and bad teeth. And the riots. And the reason I don't like to talk about stuff like this, liberals and social justice warriors, they love to gas on about the institutional racism, so they can show how very sensitive they are. And I think it's a little disrespectful to think that black people need me to ride in like their lily white fucking savior, alright? No, not gonna go on about it, but I'll see if I have time to get to the video because it's very annoying. The thing is, and it might sound odd for me to say, I don't actually think the habit of cops straight up murdering black men is entirely racist. I know, I'll get to that if I can. But I'm glad they're rioting. I hope they riot even harder. How many black men get straight up murdered by the cops with zero legal repercussions for the cops before...
You've got to say, I'm a human being! God damn it! My life has value! So, I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore!
Now, when I say that it's not exactly a racial issue, I mean it in this sense. I think a lot of cops, well, when I say a lot of cops, I don't mean like a large percentage, but a fairish number of cops become cops because they enjoy exercising power over others. They enjoy inflicting harm on others. And rather than be a criminal and do that shit and accept the consequence of going to prison, they become a cop. So why black people? Well, just think about this. You think that if a cop straight up murdered some pretty blonde middle-class girl, you think that shit would fly? No. The entire motherfucking universe would screech to a halt while everyone directed every ounce of their attention to that fucking cop. So, yeah. They do this shit because they know they do this to black people. Nobody's gonna give a damn. There's gonna be no consequences. They find the victims that are easiest to victimize. Which is why I like this rioting thing. Black people like, I assume it's a little like this. Hey, day after day, some cop kills a black guy, gets a paid suspension, comes back, doesn't do any jail time, day after day after day, and we take it in stride. We don't sweat it. But the number of dead black men has now reached an unacceptable goddamn level, and you are reaping the consequences that you have fucking sown. Our largesse has dissipated to distill my thesis to its fucking essence. So maybe next time you'll consider your options before you just straight up cap a black man's ass. Now let's go into this video and see what this woman has to say with her Yes All Women and the Ferguson thing.
And yeah, so there have been some counter arguments for white people, and I want to say you guys sound really dumb a lot of the time when you talk about the reputation of white people. The reputation of white people is not more important than people literally dying from institutionalized racism like Michael Brown. And that is just a fact. I don't care how shitty the reputation of white people is at the time. It's literally gonna blow over. You guys can just deal with it.
At first I thought she was saying refutation. She's saying reputation. Okay, so far I agree. But, young lady, you should know that if you somehow make this about your vagina, I am going to mock you with an intensity that will outshine the fucking sun. So, just so you know.
And I didn't come to this conclusion, like, immediately. This was not something that, if you had asked me last year, I could have easily said. Because I got defensive when people used the term white people a lot, pretty much before this year. And it took Yes All Women to really change my mindset.
Well, I can already sense that this is going to go in an unfortunate direction. You know, when I'm hanging out with black people, they often tell me, oh, good thing we got this guy. We're a lot less likely to get pulled over. And I'm like, well, I'm happy to contribute, guys. It's nice to know that this reflective-ass skin is good for something other than burning instantly in the sun.
And I talked about this a little bit on Tumblr last night. And I think it's important.
And now with Tumblr, damn, you're pulling out the big guns with your foreshadowing.
To share with you guys, so I'm going to talk about it. In Yes All Women, I was talking very fervently about my life experience as a woman in the United States and how it is sometimes really shitty to be a woman in the United States. There were a lot of people who decided to troll me on Twitter, and that's fine. But while I was looking through the Yes All Women tag on Twitter, I came across a tweet, and I don't remember who said it, and I don't really remember what the message said exactly, but it said basically, white women and white people, remember this trend when we talk next about race relations.
Well, I do see certain parallels, you know, like, man, I want to tap that sexy ass. You know, that's how, you know, what the women get, or like black men get, America. Yeah, pretty similar.
And that sort of like blew my mind because yes, it's not all men and it's not all white people, but those excuses excuse racists.
By the way, there are a number of things you can use to spot a racist cop. Like, I know this sounds crazy, but they usually have a high forehead width to face length ratio that gives it a slightly concave appearance. I actually think that the word pig as slang for a cop came about because when a person with such a face gains a few extra pounds, they actually look distinctly pig-like. Then there's things like demanding full attention and respect, that kind of aggressive behavior, especially when you're not actually doing anything that would warrant it, hitching up the belt a lot, record of unprofessional behavior, etc. I mean, you can smell one of these racist cops from a mile away if you know what to look for.
And sexist, and blatant racist and sexist, because they don't see themselves that way. And so, institutionalized sexism and institutionalized racism sees itself as a benign factor, but we need to make sure that it knows it's not. And when we employ this not all privileged position in society, that's what we're doing. We're excusing the system.
Like the kind of system where a gross of brothers can get gunned down in cold blood and then some lily white bitch can talk about the plight of women, that kind of system? Is that what you're talking about right now?
We know it's not all white people, and we know it's not all men, and it's not all straight people, and it's not all cis people. But it is enough of them that that as a privileged group, we have to be culpable for the institutionalized and sometimes internalized racisms that we all have.
Well, I see that you've made a different artistic choice in that you would like to do the ride in like a lily white fucking savior. You know what? Artists artistic differences. These things happen.
Or sexisms, or transphobias, or whatever. And so for me, that revelation was important. And I hope that if one person gets that from this video, that they get it.
You have persuaded me. I am gonna help black people. Black people. If you need lessons on how to be evil, just, talk to me. Now, I know that blonde women are known as being dumb, but it's less known that blonde men are known for being evil. Now, you don't believe this? Watch Rocky, or World War II. This right here is the main of evil.
And they see it. I know it's hard to think that people are attacking you specifically, but they're not.
Fuck it, I'm just gonna stop the video right here. I mean, she seems so nervous and shit. I'd feel bad with the vicious mocking that I would inevitably have to deal out. And more to the point, I'm really hungry, and I gotta go get some food and eat. Everybody have a nice day.